The world can surely become a dangerous place if you've got money, power, and fame. Let's suppose you have all of these. Well, security is what you need at the end of the day. There's no denying the fact that the most protected people on the planet are the heads of states. And why not? They live in the hearts of millions of people who love them and are ready to give their lives for the security of these leaders. Hey everybody, welcome back to Modern Luxury. Today, we're about to disclose the list of the most heavily guarded people in the world. Governing a country isn't an easy duty to uphold. When you're controlling such huge populations, it becomes essential to be guarded with top-class security, right? Yet did you ever imagine who would be the most heavily guarded person in the world? Well, let's find out in this video. Here are the 5 most heavily guarded people in the world. Number 5. Mohammed bin Salman. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is not only famous for his luxurious lifestyle, but also due to his tremendous security. Being the leader of one of the largest oil exporting countries surely comes with a lot of responsibilities. Mohammed bin Salman is not only influential in the Arab countries, but all over the world, as he controls a major chunk of the world's oil export. With a net worth of more than $18 billion, he is one of the richest people on the planet. He became the Crown Prince in 2017 and has modernized Saudi Arabia like never before. As he was entitled the Minister of Defense for the Saudi state, Mohammed bin Salman made some of the biggest changes in the military. He merged military power with secret services of the state to create a personal army for his security. Mohammed bin Salman has a security detail of about 1,000 individuals, who are the finest trained soldiers of the state. In this part of the 21st century, cyber threats are inevitable, and the Saudi Crown Prince knows how to protect himself in such conditions. He has a cybersecurity team who is responsible for analyzing his location and looking out for threats. He has invested heavily in the military of Saudi Arabia, as he spent billions in the past few years to get some of the latest ammunition on the market. Mohammed bin Salman is surely a person who's concerned about his security. Number 4. The Pope. Isn't it surprising to have this name on the list? The ruler of the Vatican is one of the most heavily guarded persons in the world. There's no denying the fact that he's on the list of the top influential people on the planet. As the head of the Catholic Church Global, he is surely an important figure. Who can imagine that the preacher of peace needs such immense security? Well, with great powers come great responsibilities. We've heard this, right? History is evident that the Pope's life is always in danger. The attack on Pope Paul II back in 1981 is one of the main reasons that Pope Francis has enhanced security. There have been continuous amendments to the security of the Pope since 2019. However, the Pope's security is majorly handled by the Swiss Guards, who have been in the same uniform design for the past 5 to 6 centuries. Well, the bright-colored uniform of the Swiss Guards makes them prominent from miles away. Yes, if you're comparing their skills with their suits, you surely are mistaken here. Don't let that flashy suit fool you. As in that uniform, some of the finest combatants from around the world are training for years to protect the Pope. When it comes to the number of individuals protecting the Pope, there's no certain figure, but there are at least 140 men who are there for the close protection of the Pope. Number 3. Kim Jong-un. It would be unfair to complete this list without mentioning the famous Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. When it comes to being the most brutal leader in the world, there's no one ahead of him. Due to global politics, every leader is concerned about their security, with some very unique security arrangements. Well, almost every citizen of North Korea would surely die for their leader, making them part of his security detail. Yet thousands of trained martial artists are protecting him from a diverse range of threats. The most notable are those who jog beside his car every time he leaves his residence. Every guard must undergo intense detail checks to be worthy enough to protect the North Korean leader. You'd be amazed by his arrangements. If it's about traveling by air, he travels with 2 decoy jets who are responsible for rescuing and protecting him if someone plans to take him down in midair. Who would have made such excellent arrangements other than him? It's nearly impossible to mess with this leader, as no one would wish to invite a global nuclear war. About 90,000 soldiers are trained to personally protect Kim Jong-un anywhere, anytime. Such a big number to protect one person? It's surely unimaginable. the supreme leader of North Korea, is surely here to set an example on how to protect yourself against these ever-growing threats. Kim Jong-un certainly has one of the most breathtaking security arrangements. Number 2. Joe Biden. Ever since the assassination of former U.S. President John F. Kennedy, the country has decided not to compromise on security ever again. The security of the United States president is beyond imagination. Would you imagine that the annual budget of the president's security is about $3 billion? With such a tremendous budget, the security detail of Joe Biden is one of the tightest in the world. Being the President of the United States comes with the responsibility of attending some of the most high-profile events in the world. Joe Biden has about 700 heavily armed security personnel who are there to make events much more secure for him. Whether it is air, water, or land, the United States President is heavily secured. One of the top-class agencies, the CIA, works exclusively to diminish the threat before it can even come to its proper existence. Finest-made armored vehicles, most advanced choppers, and Air Force One, the most expensive private jet in the world. Well, the most secured one too. The special agents tasked to protect the president are known to be the most disciplined in the world. As evident in every private event or public occasion, they have shown absolute class with their remarkable formation to cover up the president. Joe Biden is the second most heavily guarded person in the world. So, who's the most guarded person on Earth? Well, in our number 1 spot, Vladimir Putin. The president of the Russian Federation is without a doubt the most heavily guarded person in the world. And why wouldn't he be? Invading countries without security isn't a good idea, though. As global tensions rise with Russia's aggression on Ukraine, Putin's security is better than ever. A secret and highly skilled agency is responsible for protecting the president of the biggest country in the world. About 50,000 agents are tasked to protect the Russian leader at any cost. 3,000 people are always around him for his protection. It's hard to say that anyone lives a better life in Russia than the people who protect Vladimir Putin, as he gives them a luxurious life no one can ever imagine. Every hotel room and building is checked if Putin is around. If it's a diplomatic visit, the security team will have to taste his food too, as Putin takes no risks when it comes to his security. Armored cars, drones, and jets are just not enough for his security. A group of psychologists is also present in his security team to analyze the shady intentions of anyone around him. What if we tell you there's a whole private route for the president to reach Kremlin from where he makes his decisions? A road where only he can travel. Isn't it the most fascinating security arrangement ever? Anyone planning to meet the Russian president is to be scanned as finely as possible. Vladimir Putin is said to be one of the most influential persons in the world, and this is the reason he's also the most heavily guarded.